yes, you definitely can. And those are some of the things I'm going to be showing you how to save time today. So as far as different things, okay, so how many of you right now currently, when you go to an event, we're at a baseball event, how many of you are currently making custom shirts at the event? Like actually making a shirt, brushing in the stones, the entire process of making a shirt at an event. Just to get an idea as far as who's doing what. Me, I do. Sometimes takes a little too long. I know you guys can't see the question, so that's why. No, I take patterns that are done. I take transfers, me, but vinyl only, no stones. Cindy says no way. Okay. So sometimes, Terry, only vinyl. Okay. So it seems like a lot more of you are going towards just the vinyl side of it, which is great. Okay. That's one of the things I was going to say is easiest way to do is to stay on the vinyl side. So a couple of different things. What I do, I show the shirts here, okay? I show them how great the shirts are. I bring my Bling Book pages. I show them how we can do Braden River High School. I show them how we can do the live templates, how we can customize shirts for their entire school, do bulk orders, do team orders, whatever it is, okay? However, all of this stuff, I give them a card. I say, hey, you can go to our website. If you don't have a website, hey, you can email us. Let us know what you want. I would actually have them take pictures. Oh, if you really like that one, take a picture of it, email it to me, and let me know the team name and the custom number and everything that you want. I can get you a price for it, okay? So all of this type of stuff, I wouldn't, and I tried it, okay? I did have different events where I would make the shirts right there. But the problem was, they were very popular, okay? But it would take so long to cut out the green easy weed, cut out the black easy weed, obviously weed all of this, and then get it pressed to the shirt, and then depending on if they brought their own shirt, they got to try on the shirt. So every single customer that I'm making a custom shirt for, it was a 25-30 minute process going through the design, then picking out the design, me customizing it all, me cutting it all, me weeding it all, me finding a shirt that's going to fit them, and so on. So again, kind of learned from that and stopped doing the actual custom shirts right there on the spot. However, what was great is, as many of you know, when it comes to the custom shirts like this, we don't really want a whole lot of the onesie-twosie orders. We want team orders. So I would sell them on that at the event, and I would say, hey, if you get a team order of this much, then we can give you a discount of this much, all right? And they're going to be a lot less expensive. You just email or go right on the website. You can order them from there. And if you get a team order over 10 shirts, there's no custom design and setup fee. So all different things that we would think of ahead of time, but pushing all of our shirt sales to after the actual event. Because we have a lot of new customers now that now see, man, this place makes some awesome shirts, and we can get shirts for Sarasota Sting baseball, the custom number, the names on the back, the rhinestones. So we would still show all of our shirts at the event. We just want to actually make them at the event. Does that make sense to everybody? Because again, we want to make as many products as we can, as quickly as we can, to make as much money as we can, and get as many customers as we can, okay? What's the average percentage you would give at the event? Okay, so Tim, here's another great thing about this. When I want to get some questions from you guys as far as well, but where do you think our smallest margins are as far as things that we create, okay? And then what are our biggest margins? And that's where I'm getting to your percentage question here, Tim. So what products do you make that are the smallest margins? And when I say smallest margins, I mean the time it involved to actually make it and cut it and weed it and press it and everything else, compared to the margins where we might have pennies in cost and we're selling it for this much and we can make it this quick, okay? I'm saying Dax, yes. Decals, biggest margins, sure. Smallest. Every single one of you are perfectly on the exact same page, okay? So when it comes to the vinyl car decals, huge, huge, huge margins. Anything that you're currently doing right now is not going to touch the margins you're going to make on these vinyl car decals. Many of you know, go ahead and type it in here, how much is our cost in this white intermediate sign vinyl for a 5" by 5" decal? Cindy, you answered it before I even asked the question. You knew. 17 cents in cost, okay? We sell these for $10 at an event, and they do not blink an eye because they're getting something custom right there at the event. I'm going to cut it right here. You tell me the name, the number, the position, the team name, and which decal you want right there at the event. And you can choose from over 400 different decals right here on our iPad. So it's a pretty cool process that they don't really believe when they get there. You got to kind of educate them, and you can say, hey, I'm going to make this right here for you right now at $10. And believe me, I get way more people that say only $10 than people that say, oh my God, it's $10, that's too much. It's completely customized, okay? That does, yes, Suzanne, that includes sales tax, okay? We always, especially when it comes to decals, tax included. Okay, remember, our smallest margins are on the shirts, okay? So what we also have is our shoes right here. Do we have big margins to be able to customize a number on the back of a shoe? How much are we selling a single color number on the back of a shoe? How much are we going to sell it for? Now remember, they get 2 shoes, so it's a pair of shoes. But a single color number, we're going to charge $10, all right? Again, where else can they go to Dick's Sporting Goods and customize shoes like this? They can't do it anywhere else. You're doing it on the spot. I'm going to actually do a pair of shoes today here on the spot. And basically, these are Jackson's shoes that he wore to practice yesterday. They are as muddy as you can possibly get. And just to prove to you, they still have a lot of clay in them as well. So a lot of people will always say, well, what happens if the shoes are dirty, if they have dirt on them? These are as bad as you can get. I'll show you how easy it is to still customize these, okay? So $10, right? And we can customize. This is actually a training glove, but it was the only one I could grab really quick. But they're baseball gloves. We can customize them right there on the spot. We'll do that. I'm going to do the batting glove here today for you. This right here is just a wrist protector. It's an Evo Shield, and we'll customize this here as well. Every one of these different things I'm going to customize here, we charge $10 for it. What would you guess is our cost in heat transfer vinyl for customizing a number 20 on this Evo Shield right here? Pennies, 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents. You know what our cost is? This is what I say our cost is. Our cost is $0. And the only reason why I say our cost is $0 is I can grab a piece of scrap vinyl, like literally out of the trash can. And this piece of scrap vinyl right here, this was in the trash, and I could fit probably 3 numbers across, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 10 rows, okay? I could fit 10 rows of, let's say 2 numbers across. So this piece of scrap vinyl at an event could make me $100. Just this right here. Because a pair of shoes, I can do number 20, 2 across. I can do number 17, number 14, whatever it is. Scrap vinyl that I would have thrown away, okay, can make me $100 at an event. And that's what's really nice about the Graph Tech cutters and different ones. But even those of you that have the Silhouette Cameo, you can use your cutting mat, and sometimes it's even easier to hit those different scraps. Great idea for something like that. How many of us are Cameo users here? So one thing about, yes, Stacy, we are putting heat transfer vinyl on shoes, and I will show you that today. And I'm going to put it on the plastic part of the shoe just to show you the hardest part to do. So all of you Cameo users, here's the deal. If you use your cutting mat, the only colors I offer when I go to an event, okay, we have 60 colors of intermediate sign vinyl, okay? I think 50 or 60 colors. Now, do you really want to bring 50 or 60 colors of sign vinyl to an event and offer all those colors? Or do you want to simplify the entire process to make it a whole lot easier, right? So I used to go to an event when I first started, I would bring about 10 colors. Well, I only bring white, okay? White shows up on every car window, okay? Shows up the best on every car window and makes it easy. And if they want something different, what do? I send them to the website or email us or Etsy or eBay or wherever we have these available, okay? So those of you who have the Cameo or even the Graphtec, okay? Cutting mat will work in any cutter. So you have your cutting mat. For heat transfer vinyl, what color do we bring in heat transfer vinyl? Help me out here. What color do we want to bring for our heat transfer vinyl? I'm seeing black and white. Exactly. Don't want to bring all, okay? Think about it. I have all different colors here. The gray, I would put black on this. The white, I would put black on this. The black, I would put white on this. The white, put black on this. So if you have white and black, that's going to cover everything. But again, if they want a specific color, email us, go to the website, go to the eBay store, whatever it is, that we can still offer it to them, still show them that we can do that. We just don't do it at the event. The more colors, I don't even do school colors, Margot. The more colors you offer them, the longer it's going to take them to order. It's going to slow down your entire process, okay? So keep it as simple as possible at this event. We want to write down an order, make it be done, write down the next order, make it be done. If we give them 10 different color options and different shirt sizes and different shirt styles and all these different things, they're going to come up and they're going to say, oh, I think I like this. Well, let me go ask my daughter. Oh, let me go ask my husband. Let me go ask my grandma. And that process is just going to take way longer than it needs to be. So back to the cutting mat. If I'm using my heat transfer vinyl, I could put half black and half white, right? So I'm not having to reload material every single time. So half of it with black HTV, half of it with white HTV. If they come up and they have a hat and they want number 20 in white, well, I just cut in that white area because I can move it all around and reset my origin. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, that's the way that I would get to using it before, but I wouldn't use the cutting mat. I would just load the material in. Can anybody think of an easier way to do that? I have a much easier way to do something like that. So if I'm going to customize this helmet here, I'm going to use a number probably, right? Maybe a name underneath. If I'm going to customize this hat, I'm going to use a number. If I'm going to customize these shoes, I'm going to use a number. If I'm going to customize these batting gloves, I'm going to use a number, right? Well, what I would do when I go to an event, I'm prepared. Because think of the amount of time it's going to take you, right, to go over to the cutter, type out number 20, load the white material, make it number 20, cut it, weed it, and then bring it over to your heat press, right? A lot of time involved in that. Well, all you need to do, and I'll show you one of the larger ones here, I would bring a few of these, right, and different compartments with all pre-cut numbers. And just the single digits going all across. So if they were number 21, I would cut out a 2, I would cut out a 1, and then I'll show you how we're going to line them up really easy over here. And what I would have 1 1/4 inch, 1 inch, 3/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, and a 1/4 inch numbers. Okay, so a wide variety of numbers, because when it comes to customizing shoes and it comes to customizing batting gloves and things like this, all of the surfaces and the areas are different. So one pair of shoes, you might have to use 1/2 inch numbers. Another pair of shoes, you might use a 1/4 inch numbers. Another pair of shoes, you might use 3/4 inch numbers. So they're always going to vary ahead of time. So I would always cut out a number set like this, and then I would actually just have the individual numbers in my little compartment here. So I would grab a 2 and a 0. They want number 20 on this set of batting gloves or on this Evo Shield. How much easier is that? The largest size, Suzanne, was normally 1 1/4 inches, and that's what we use in the, now I would do them on both, remember, check this out. Those were all the heat transfer vinyl. Well, guess what these are? These are all my pre-cut sign vinyl numbers. So that's how we're going to customize the back of our helmet with number 20 right here, right? So again, makes the entire process a whole lot easier. Now, obviously, things that we can't pre-cut are things like a name. So, and we'll do that here. Let's just say he wanted Jackson or Vassallo or something on this part of the Evo Shield, and then the number right there. Well, again, we saved some time with the number side of it. Okay, maybe they did just want the number. However, when they go to the custom name, well, there we go. So, real quickly, I want to show you here. Did everybody download your order forms already? Have you guys seen the order forms yet? Just to let you know, everybody that attended the class here, all of you are going to get these order form downloads for free. Okay, so you can print them out and use them for your events. They're pretty awesome. There's two different order forms. Okay, one of them is for the vinyl decals, and the other one is for the custom products. All right, so with the custom products one, I'm going to actually come up here on this camera up top, and I'm going to show you guys. See if you guys can see it. So you can see on this custom products one right here, let's say John Smith comes up. So customer's name is John Smith. The top architects is Pirates. Bottom is baseball. They're number 20. Position is shortstop. The SKU number is 0119. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Quantity is 2. Decal price $10 each. Total price $20. And then what I would also have is the time that they placed the order, the estimated completion time. So if I told them 20 minutes, then I would know that. And then them signing that they picked them up. And then any notes, or if they want to provide their email address for any further information. Now the other one we have is the custom product event order form. So what this one is going to do is it's actually going to be for different things like the helmets and stuff. So if I were going to customize this helmet right here, item 1, batting helmet, location, back, middle, custom text, 20, because they just want the number 20, vinyl color, black, item price, and so on. Now, if they wanted a second location, maybe they're doing the Evo Shield, I would put Evo Shield, location, number 20, inside logo. I would put 20. Item 2, or item 3, I would put Evo Shield, custom name, so location under logo, and Vassallo, vinyl color white, and the price. Okay, so back over here. Everybody understand kind of what I'm showing you there as far as the process? So these are order forms. You can download them and print them out, and you can change them. You'll actually get a CorelDRAW file of it as well, and a PDF file. So Corel users, you can actually go in and edit them all, but these things will save you a ton of time. What's really cool, and I noticed as I was doing events, is when you would have them sign off on it, it really helped you, because you would say, man, because you'll get crazy busy, okay? As you get better and better at events, I would go to events, and I'm telling you, I would have lines of 20, 30 people lined up waiting to order, okay? Literally a line going halfway down the field waiting to put in an order. So next question normally is, how do they order, okay? I didn't have it as cool as you guys did. So what I used to do is I would print out pieces of paper of all the different decals that I had, all right? And then I had a big banner in the back that I would put a bunch of the different decals on. So one of the very first mistakes I did when I went to, yeah, that line does stress you out, doesn't it? It stresses you out, but it makes you happy as well, because you know they're all wanting to hand you money, right? However, tell you what, the best thing I ever did was when I got that enclosed trailer. Here's the thing, and this is what's going to happen. Those of you that have not done an event before, okay, you're going to be over at this table over here. You're going to be weeding. We're in Florida. It would be 100 degrees. I'm dripping sweat, okay? And it's first thing that would happen is we're in Florida, so at 3 in the afternoon, it would be a complete downpour for 4 minutes, okay? So everything would be soaked, and then I had to move everything away, move it back. And then what would happen is Betty would come over. Betty ordered a decal, and I told her it would be ready in 30 minutes. Well, when Betty comes over and 10 minutes later, Betty's going to say, well, my son's team just lost. They're out of the tournament now. We got to go. Can you hurry up and get my decal done? Well, Betty's sitting over your shoulder, as well as the 20 other people that are sitting over your shoulder. You're trying to weed out this sign vinyl, and you got sweat dripping from your forehead onto the decal, and then you mess it up and you miss a letter, and you're digging through the trash can. All of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, those of you that do events, right? When I got the closed-in trailer, it was great, because whenever I did the closed-in trailer, I would bring my wife with me, and she would take all the orders. I would go in the enclosed trailer and do all the work, and nobody could ask me any questions. I'm just in there knocking out decals and custom items, and anybody that was complaining about something or wanted something, they had to go through Lorraine. So made it a whole lot less stressful for me. But again, when people aren't standing over your shoulder the whole time, it makes it a whole lot nicer, okay? So we got our order forms, but again, like I was saying, I would have a banner with a bunch of different decals. One of the biggest problems and the biggest issues when I first started doing the events I had was I went to a baseball event, okay? And I brought all I did at my first event was the vinyl car decals, okay? And I brought all of my different baseball designs, okay? I probably had, probably 50 different baseball designs. What's the problem with that? You guys help me out here. Why is that an issue? I mean, I'm at a baseball event, right? It's going to be awesome if I have 50 different baseball designs, right? Too many choices? Okay. But again, the reason I didn't mind the too many choices on that, okay, because they could pick out their decal ahead of time as I'm working with someone else. So that part I wasn't as worried about. But what else? I wanted a lot of choices on something like that because they knew their team name, their kid's name, their position, their number. That's the only information they had to give me. Pick out which one you like best, and boom. But the reason why I liked having 50 choices, I was different than everybody else, okay? I had a decal for a right-handed first baseman. I had a decal for a left-handed first baseman. I had a decal for a right-handed batter, a left-handed batter, a catcher, an outfielder diving, an outfielder throwing, outfielder snagging a home run, a guy sliding into second base, a shortstop turning a double play. Anything you could think of, I had, and that's what they loved about it, because it could be completely customized to the position and whether it was right-handed, left-handed, that their kid was. However, the very first customer that came to my booth to order a decal, it was the issue. Who did they come up to my booth with? Because their son was over there playing. They came up to my booth with their daughter, okay? Well, if mom's buying the son something, guess what mom has to do? Mom has to buy the daughter something. I only had baseball decals at this event. The daughter's in soccer or gymnastics or whatever she's in, and she wanted a decal on mom's car as well. So I didn't have another decal that I could make because I was only offering the baseball decals. Now, of course, I pulled up on my computer and showed them, hey, I have a gymnastics decal. I just don't have it in the order form area over here. So honestly, I don't care when it comes to this, and because the simplicity of them just picking out one design and which kind of silhouette they like the most, I allow them to choose from 400 different decals, okay? Because what they're going to do, and this is what I would do if I were you guys, I'll show you on the camera up here again. All of you, like for example, with our different design packs and stuff, you get a PDF and what's called an EPUB file that you can put on an iPad. So if I have a customer that comes and they want to flip through and see all the different designs, they can say, okay, I like football designs. I want football 0174, or I want hockey 0290. So they can just flip through, see every single decal that we offer, and just pick the number. And then all I need to do is write down the number on my order form. And when I come over to my computer, like we're going to do in just a minute here, when I come over to the computer, I just type in the number and it'll pull up that actual decal. Okay, so let's go through that process. Before we go into making the decal here, Does anybody have any questions before we get going? Everybody understands what I was talking about as far as, yes, I'm kind of contradicting myself because I was saying earlier, you want to simplify it and make it as easy as possible and not give them so many options. When it comes to the custom apparel side of it, it's completely different than the vinyl decal side of it, because only thing they're changing is the text, okay? And it's easy text to change for you. Now they just need to pick which silhouette they like the best. The one that I was just showing you is actually this one right here, and that is the Decal Live Templates and Clip Art Mega Pack. So this one alone has 261 different silhouettes in it. That's the one I was flipping through right there. The other one is the Decal Fundraising Pack, okay? And you guys are going to get a special coupon code at the end for those if you're interested in them. Is there a video or instructions for adding the different decals to the iPad? Dax, we can get a video on that. Yeah, we'll get a video on that for you. It's pretty simple, but again, you can actually bring an EPUB file and it drops it right into your iBooks on your iPad. So it's a very simple process, but obviously a video, when you see the video, you'll realize how easy it is. But you need to know how to do it, of course, okay? So let's go ahead. So we just filled out our order form, okay? And our order form is for John Smith. He's doing Pirates Baseball. Custom number 20, position is shortstop, and the decal SKU is 0119, okay? So I need to come over to our vinyl cutter, but first thing I need to do is I need to get this actual design pulled up on the computer to be able to cut it. So I'm going to come over to the actual computer over here, and we're going to go ahead and share our computer. Where do I need to click here? Hit the play button. So I'm going to show my screen. Can you guys see my screen now? Everybody good? And you'll be able to scroll through the different things to be able to make the screen a little bit bigger to see. So if I have that decal pack there, the Decal Live Templates and Clip Art Mega Pack, here's what I would do, okay? I'm going to open one of them up. So I would just come over here to our Live Templates and I would hit Open Template, okay? Now the template I want is going to be in the Rhinestone World folder, and templates. Now that was, let me get my order form here, and that was decal number 0119, okay? So I'm just going to type in 0119, and out of all those 300 plus decals, it's going to pull up that exact one. So we don't have to search through it and spend a lot of time on that. So go ahead and double click on there, and there's my decal, okay? So to customize this, I'm just going to click on Find Text, and we're going to go ahead and customize it. So they wanted Pirates, and they want shortstop and number 20, so that's already done, and baseball, so we're good to go. They didn't want to do a custom name, they just want to do the custom number and position, which is still completely customized for them, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my decal here. I want it to be about 5 inches, so I'll make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to duplicate this real quick because they wanted 2 of them, right? So I'm just going to hit Copy Selected here, and that's going to copy it. Maybe I want a little bit more spacing between that, so let's do this and highlight it and copy our selected to the right. So now we have our 2 decals here, right? So what we want to do now is we want to get these set up and ready to go for a vinyl cutter. So in the software here, the first thing we want to do is we want to use what's called our vinyl overcut feature. So I'm going to click here, SS lower, no, that SS is uppercase. It does look the lowercase, doesn't it? So let's go ahead and I'm going to go to switch my cut settings around a little bit. So I'm going to go to Templates, and I'm going to do what's called a vinyl overcut on this one, okay? And the reason why I want to do a vinyl overcut is this actual decal, oh, we got one little spot there. Let me get rid of that. So the reason why, and let me show you this real quick, the reason why it's separating like that is it's looking at multiple colors, okay? So we just need to make sure that all these decals are the exact same color, All right, so now that they're all the same color, and we come over here to our vinyl overcut, then we're good to go, and there's our weed box around it, and it's going to do our overcut. So to send this to our cutter, we're just going to come up here to the top. We're going to choose send cut lines to CM3. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different with your Cameo and your Jaguar and whichever cutter you're using. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do a cut force of 10. So we're all ready to go. Now we need to come over here, and we need to set up our vinyl cutter. So let me go ahead and stop sharing this screen here. And now we're over here at our vinyl cutter. So with our vinyl cutter here, obviously we're going to use our sign vinyl. So I have my white intermediate sign vinyl here that I'm going to be using. And let's see, where is my camera at? Here? Let me see if I can arrange this. Can you guys see it okay? Let me see if I can arrange it a little bit more so you can see me too. There we go. So just my 12-inch white intermediate sign vinyl, I always bring it by the roll just so it can keep feeding through. So when I load this into my cutter here, I'm just going to load it from the back and go edge to edge there, drop this down. I'm going to choose my front edge on this one, and we're good to go now. So on my cutter, remember, I'm cutting 2 across on this. I'm going to come over here, and let me just check my design real quick, make sure we're all good. We look good on that, and let's go ahead and hit send. So now that this design is cutting right here, and we're cutting 2 of them at the exact same time, what I can do is I can come back over here. So going through that process and not walking you through it slowly and talking to you about it, that would probably take me maybe a minute, let's say, to get it cutting, okay? So I'm keeping that white sign vinyl there. Now what I can do is I can start doing other projects. I can come over here and I can customize a helmet or something like that. So let's do that. Let's come over here to this one, and let's customize this helmet, and someone wanted a custom number 20 on this, okay? So we have this helmet here, and I want to customize this with our number 20. So I'm going to pull a number 20 out of our pre-cut numbers here. So I'm just going to find my 2 right there, my 0 right there. And we should be ready to go with this. Now again, remember, normally, because this is so inexpensive, I would give them a backup number as well that they could use for something else, okay? They always think it's cool to be able to do a backup number and put it on something at the house or on their cell phone or whatever it is, right? So we have somebody ask, Linda, can you explain the vinyl overcut, okay? So with the vinyl overcut feature, what it does is when it's cutting through this design, as it starts the design again another 1/4 inch, okay? So what that does, it doesn't matter what vinyl cutter you have, it will always, I turn off the overcut feature on every single one of our cutters because our software does it for you, okay? So that's what makes it weed so much easier. So now I'm going to go ahead and customize this, and I'm going to do the custom number 20. I'm going to look at the 2 and the 0. We'll get those lined up pretty good there. I'm going to drop the 2 down right there. That looks good. And because it's sign vinyl, I can just do 1 number at a time right here. I can pull that off, and then I'm going to drop the 0 down right next to it. And I hear my cut just finished up over there. So let's drop this 20. Now again, think about having to cut all of this and spend the time doing that. Because I have these numbers pre-cut right here, boom, there I go. I got my custom number 20 helmet, and that's done. So because those were cut already, that was 45 seconds, a minute to be able to customize this with the number 20 right there. These are the 1 1/4 inch numbers right here for this helmet. This is a youth helmet right here, okay? And yeah, that's the crazy thing. It's a customized helmet. They will pay $10 for it, all right? Bubbles, you're never going to get bubbles on little small numbers like this. Won't be an issue, but you could, on bigger designs, always do a wet application as well. Okay, so I just heard our vinyl cutter finish up over here. Let's go ahead and switch over to this one. I'm going to hit 1 to feed it out. Let's see where my cut lines are there. Cut across this right here. Let's come back over to our weaving area over here. Our helmet, we already collected the 10 bucks. I'm going to go hand this to the customer, and they're going to be really happy right now. They got a customized helmet. So I just made $10 while the cutter was over there working for me. Now I come over to here, and this right here, how many of you sometimes have issues with vinyl car decals? And issues meaning different letters will pull up. Check that out. I just weeded $20. I just weeded $20 worth of vinyl decals right there with a simple weed, and that's mainly because of that vinyl overcut feature. So I'm weeding out my smaller areas here, my inside cavities, inside cavity of my 20 right there, 20 right there. What's really nice again that I like as far as with our different pick tools that we have, they're very sharp. Okay, so they will stab your finger, but what they'll also do is get into that vinyl to make it a lot easier to pick it. Okay, some of the pick tools out there aren't very sharp, and it's very difficult to weed with them. Okay, just be careful with it. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. Okay, so good there. Yep, we're going to do the shoes in just a second. Leave that off there. I got 2 decals that are 20 bucks. I'm going to grab my application tape. I always like to turn it upside down, okay? It's upside down to be able to see that it's going to fit my material there. And let's go ahead and trim this off. That should fit this fine. It's curving up a little bit. I'll just drop it down right on top here. Really nice with the FUC sign vinyl that we have, that it has the blue backing and the clear application tape. The benefit of clear application tape is when I trim this right here, trim around this way, trim that off, let's trim down the middle, and I have 2 completed decals ready to hand to my customer, right? How sweet is that? Very, very easy to do to make these vinyl car decals, and that's where you can just make a ton of these at the events, okay? Makes it very easy. So back over to our main camera here. Now we got a new customer that just showed up. They gave us a challenge, and they want us to customize this shoe right here with a custom number 20, okay? Standard size for decals, we're normally about 5 1/4 inches, around 5 to 5 1/4 inches. So depending on the design, sometimes it's 5 inches tall by 5 1/4 wide or whatnot, but yes. Do you keep installation instructions available for the customer? Great question, Sharon. Yes, we do. And the decal fundraising pack actually comes with an awesome sheet for decal application instructions with images of the entire process as well that you can give to them. So when I'm customizing this dirty shoe, first thing I need to do is obviously clean the shoe a little bit, right? Okay, it can't be a complete mess. So let's go ahead and do a quick clean of the shoe right there, and I'll show you. We don't get crazy with cleaning the shoe. I have a scrap shirt and got my water bottle here. Yes, this is my drinking water. Just gonna be a lot nicer if you had a towel, but all I'm gonna do is just wipe down this area a little bit, okay? Just because I don't want loose dirt in the area that I'm going to customize, obviously. So as I wipe this down, and then I'm just going to dry it off. And now I have a much cleaner spot to be able to customize here. So What we need to do now is we need to come over to our workstation over here. And I'll show you the shoe here so you can see that it is a lot cleaner. We'll get switched over to this camera here. There we go. Oh, almost there. Do you say the standard size for the decals? Yes, 5 1/4 inches is the standard size. That's actually that's a good point there, Deb. Deb said, can you use alcohol wipes? That's a very good point, because I never even thought about that. If you brought a bunch of alcohol wipes and just wiped it down, you can see how much cleaner it is now just wiping it down. But that would obviously probably get it even cleaner, right? Can a name or a number be added to a shirt to someone that has already? Yes, Linda, I'm going to get into that in a minute too. Okay, so with this decal or with this shoe right here, I need to come over here and I need to see what size numbers are going to fit. I'm going to try my 1/2 inch numbers, and it looks like my 1/2 inch numbers are going to be good. Okay, so here's what I need to do. You can see I just have a little board right here where I just use a Sharpie to draw across it, okay? And I'm just going to line my 2 and my 0 up here. So I got the 2 there. Obviously, we want to make sure that it's the right way. And let's line my 0 up there. So you can, oh, just moved it with my finger. So my 2 and my 0 are all lined up now. Now what I need to do is I need to get them off of this board to be able to press it. That's where our heat tape comes in, okay? So I'm going to use my heat tape here, go right over top of it, just drop it down on that 20. And I like to, if anything, put a little bit too much heat tape on it. Now, remember, this is not standard tape, okay? This is heat tape that can withstand the heat of the heat press. Please do not use just a standard tape because it will melt on your press, okay? So Joe is actually going to come over here and bring this camera a little bit closer so you guys can see how I'm going to press it here. So we have our shoe here. Should be right on the side right here, Joe. We'll release it.
Should be a little tab you got to swing out.
Okay. So, got a little craft press here. You can come around here. Have a little craft press here. You can see the custom number 20 that I have. First thing I need to do is I need to get it lined up on the shoe here, right? So, what do you guys like? Do you like it at the angle like this, or do you like it straight? I'm going to let you guys decide. Straight across, or a little bit at an angle, kind of the way the design's going. Straight, 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 angle. First 4 were straight. Let's go straight across. So I'm going to go straight across, right there. Put my tape down, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my craft shoe press. Okay, and what that means is just press it. Oh no, press it up to the top here, and we're going to have to come back and do this in just a second because the press was off, so it's down to 200 degrees. So I'm going to keep that right there, and let's come over here, and I'm going to show you how to get the next item set up. So again, things like this are going to happen. So with that press, it's basically a safety precaution that the press has, which is nice. Because it was sitting over there for so long and I wasn't using it, it actually turns off and cools down again in case you leave it on at your house or something like that. So we have that shoe set up and ready to go. Let's go ahead and set up our hat right here. So again, we're going to come over here to our area. We're going to find the hat or the numbers that we want to use to customize our hat here. So I think that we should probably use the 3/4 inch numbers for this one. So I'll get you on the camera over here in just a second. There we go. So for this one again, because they're all individual numbers, I can just take my 2 right here, line it up with my line. The easiest way to line it up normally is, you'll see I leave a very, very, very small white area so I can see that it's lined up right. And then I'll come back with my 0 here and go with my 0 a little bit off the edge there. Okay? And one thing I'm going to show you here is, as soon as I pull this up here with our heat tape, what's one thing that you can run into a lot with a hat when you're customizing a hat? Have many of you out there done any customization with numbers on hats yet? One thing and one problem you're going to run into a lot, and any of you that were on the Facebook Live the other night, we actually tested it out, and it worked pretty good. Yes, all of you are correct, the seams. So you're going to run into an issue with seams when it comes to hats. Well, the cool thing about that is, because each of these numbers are individual, I can put a bigger spacing between it so I hit that seam nicely. So we know we got our custom number 20 over here for our hat ready. Let's make sure our heat press is starting to heat up. I can feel it starting to heat up good. Come back over here. And now with this one, we're going to get a little more detail with it, because I want to customize it not only with a custom number, but we want to do a name on here, okay? So to do a name or something like this, obviously you need to measure it. We got our little tape measure here, and I want to see the area going across that I want to customize. So I'm going to be about probably 2 1/4 inches is the size that I want across this EvoShield, and a maximum of 1 inch tall, but I know doing the name that I'm going to do, it's going to be a lot less than that as far as height-wise. Next thing we have is our custom batting glove as well. We're going to do a number across this one. Okay, so we'll put batting glove over there. We'll get that ready, but let's go ahead, and while the heat press is heating up, let's go ahead and get the custom name for the EvoShield here. So we're going to come over here to the computer again. Let me go ahead and share my screen here so you guys can see it. There we go. Should be good to go. Let's go ahead, and we don't need this one. Let's open up a new file here. So we said 2 1/4 inches. So I'm going to come over to my text here, and I'm just going to do, we'll just do last name. We'll do Vassallo. And I'm going to do it in kind of a bold font. Maybe I'll do a collegiate font. So collegiate black right there. And we're going to go shrink it up a little bit there. And 2 1/4 inches is going to put us at a little under a 1/2 inch as far as height-wise. So take my text there. I'm going to come to templates. Now this time, because I'm using heat transfer vinyl, all right, for a number and a name, would you charge 10 each? No. Great question. And I'll go over that pricing as far as what we're going to do with this one right here. So I want to right-click for my vinyl overcut, and now you can see Vassallo here. So I'm going to highlight that. Let's come over and send this to Cutting Master 3. That's going to open up my file here in Cutting Master 3. And again, it's showing 2.8 inches, but that is only because of the weed box around it. All right? Let's go ahead and go to my settings. I still have a 45-degree blade in here, but obviously I'm not going to be using side vinyl this time. Let me go ahead and unshare my screen here so you guys can see. I'm going to be using white heat transfer vinyl. So again, just have some scraps of a white heat transfer vinyl here. Let's go ahead and load this up real quick. Obviously, when it comes to names, you can't really customize it too much ahead of time, because you don't necessarily want to have the entire alphabet and you're lining up a V and an A, S, S, A. That would take a lot longer than just coming over here and cutting it quick. So got it set up there. Let's go ahead and hit send. And we know that our numbers are already set up, so we're good to go with those, okay? See where our heat press is at 245. We're getting close over here. Let this cut here. And again, as each of these things are going on, when I would do these events by myself, now I'm over here taking the next order. And what I would also do is I would have 3 or 4 different order pages out there where they could literally just write it down, because I know if they paid or not, because I have a little area where I circle and sign paid or not paid. So let's go ahead and take my heat transfer vinyl off here. I'm going to come over to our weeding station over here, and we're going to go ahead and weed this. We got our decals that our customers getting ready to come pick up. And let's go ahead and use our pick tool here. Pull across from the bottom right here, and then I like to actually go the opposite way because there's more open cavities. So we've got the S out there, and we got the S there, and then we just need to pick out our inside cavities on this. Now, again, this is a pretty small text right here, but again, the cool thing is because we use that vinyl overcut feature, this thing is going to weed absolutely perfectly, okay? And I'll even show you, it's getting these areas that are so small that I can barely even see it, but it's still a perfect cut. So let me show you it right here. And a couple questions come in. Kathleen, 150% they pay before I start the decal, okay? I tried that. It's a disaster. And you can see the Vassallo right there. Okay, so we're up to 281. I would say we're good to go with heat transfer vinyl. So Joe's going to come back over here and help me out with the camera. And we are going to get set up for our Evo Shield here. So we'll do the Evo Shield first. I need some white numbers, so I'm going to grab my 2 and my 0 out of my numbers right here. Make sure those fit, which they do. Okay, so we're good with that. Let's go ahead and line up my 2. And get my 0 down here. One thing you want to be careful with is that you don't get them overlapping, where the actual the carrier sheet doesn't overlap into the other piece of material. So we're looking good there. Let's go ahead and heat tape this bad boy. This one right here, I'm only going to do 1 because I know this one's going to be a little bit easier. So come over to our press here. Got some baseball dirt on the press. That means it's good. And I'm going to do a quick little pre-press on this. And then I'm going to come back with my 20 right here. I'm going to drop it right there in the middle of my Evo Shield. Looks good there. Go ahead and press this down. I'm going to go for probably about 8 seconds on this. Peel this up. And now, when I peel this off here, we have a custom number 20 Evo Shield. Now I want to do my name. Let's come back over here. We got the Vassallo. Let's grab my heat tape. Heat tape looks good there. This one's going to be a little bit trickier because, thanks Monica, you like my pink press, don't you? This one's going to be a little bit trickier because of all the different areas in it. What I like to do is get it to where it's actually completed. The Evo Shield's actually Velcroed. And then I will put the Vassallo on right here. Okay? And instead of doing my normal press, I like to just press it to the top. And it honestly just makes it a little bit easier because you don't have to worry about all the different weird seams and everything. So when I take this and peel it off, there we go. A completely custom Evo Shield now. It's got name and number. That's pretty sweet. So what I was telling you before about with this, the custom number, we would normally do, the first spot would be $10, and then the additional spot would be $5. So this would be $15. They can customize it with whatever name or nickname that they want, and then the number. So let's come back over here, and now I'm going to show you the actual, or actually let's press the shoe while you got the camera there, Joe. So now that our heat press is heated up, we're going to go ahead and press our shoe so you can see the custom number 20. Get you back on here. And I used all of this amount of heat tape because I wanted it to be, and make sure it stayed on there, okay? So that 20 doesn't actually move at all. So when it comes to customizing our shoe, again, same thing. I'm just going to press my 20 right up against the press there. Now this is on the plastic part of the shoe, okay? So a lot of people will say, oh no, you can't press it on the plastic part of the shoe. This is where I am here to prove them wrong. Boom, there you go, and the plastic is not melted at all. So now they just came to me, and I can do both of their shoes real quick. It would, having the pre-cut numbers, it would actually take probably a minute, minute and a half to customize a full pair of shoes for them. Just doing 2 of them like that real quick. Okay? I want to hit a couple questions here. In a pinch, would masking tape work? No. No, because it's gonna literally, it's gonna melt on your heat press. Couldn't you open the strap and pressed it? Kathleen, yes, I could have. However, with the strap on this, there's a big plastic part on the strap here. So the strap wasn't big enough to go across the entire press. So that's why it was easier just to push it up against it, okay? Yes, I'm using EasyWeed heat transfer vinyl, so you're normally going to be at about 305 degrees. That's correct. You got it, Deb, no problem. So, customized shoe is done. Our custom decal is done. Our Evo Shield is done. This right here, we actually did. And the thing about a wristband, and I was explaining this in the live the other night, with the wristband, even if you use EasyWeed Stretch, you're going to actually, as this stretches, it's going to distort, okay? Do you have the code for it?
I have the code. Do you have it printed out?
I don't think so. Let's see. No, it's just the Mother's Day. Jonathan, you can type it in there so they all have it.
Can they see it?
Yeah, just do share with all. Jonathan, for those, any of you that that need to get going at 2:30, because that's when we're supposed to be finishing up, Jonathan's going to put the code, the special code for the class here, and all of the decals. So the decal fundraising pack and the decal live templates and clip art mega pack. This is the one that I've been using in the iPad here to show you and search and create those decals. These, for you guys, are 60% off, okay? So 60% off the website price. Jonathan's going to put the code in there now for you guys. So the thing is when you have a wristband like this and it expands, even if I use EasyWeed Stretch, okay? Even if I use the EasyWeed Stretch, it's going to actually stretch out, right? And it's going to get distorted. Well, the way that I fixed it, and Jackson's been wearing these wristbands for a couple months now, I actually used our brick heat transfer vinyl, okay? It's a lot thicker. It's the brick we have now is 600 microns. So it's a much thicker material, and what it does is it doesn't expand with it. Even though the wristband's expanding, the brick material does not expand. And then I actually put black strip flock on top of it, which gave it the feel of like the wristband, okay? And of course, as soon as Jackson wore these to the tournament and the game, all the other kids on the team want custom wristbands now. That's the awesome thing about it. All the cool things you make for your kids is advertising for your business, so they look cool and it generates sales for you. All right? So we got our custom helmet that we already made. We got our custom shoe. We got our custom decal. We need to press our custom hat here real quick. So we'll keep you with this camera right here. But remember the seam in our hat right there? Okay. what I did is, because I had the individual numbers like that, I was able to split them apart a little bit so they weren't directly on that seam. So I'm not sure if you can tell from the image here, but I split the seam, okay? And now I'm just going to come over to my press up against it, probably about 5-6 seconds. And if the press gets hot, you can actually just use, a lot of our customers are using UV gloves. That makes it a lot easier. So slowly peel this off here, and there we go. We got a custom number 20 on the hat. How easy was that? Brick and strip flock is on the site, Suzanne. It is under heat applied materials, and then the Caesar heat transfer vinyl. That custom number 20 is awesome right there. And again, because we had all these pre-cut numbers ahead of time, that we spent the time to do this ahead of time, all of that was done, and we just cut out 2 numbers, and boom, there it is. So percentage that we did this, that we would do at the events, great question. I know I was getting into that. So because I'm not doing the shirts, I'm doing all of the items that have the biggest markups and the biggest margins on them. When you do the margins on these items, it's almost not fair, and you almost feel like you're ripping them off, but you're not, because you're creating some cool product for them, okay? So normally, when I was doing shirts, the most I would go to would be 10%. However, when I'm doing just the vinyl car decals and the customized shoes and things like this, where I know my margins are huge, I would normally go 20. Sometimes I could even go 25%. As far as what I would give in return, okay? If you're doing the shirts, please don't make the mistake of going 20-25%, because you're not going to make money. If you're doing what we're talking about here today, the vinyl car decals, the customized shoes, single color, the customized helmet with the intermediate sign vinyl, single color, the baseball, throwing a custom name, just single color heat transfer vinyl, okay? All of these different things that are very, very simple and very easy to create, and they're literally will take 2 to 3 minutes to make each one. Those are the things that we're making those huge margins on, and that's why we can give that 20 to 25% back to the league or organization, because our margins are so high, okay? What kind of gloves do they, oh yeah, let me customize, a couple of you are asking for the batting glove. Let me customize the batting glove, okay? The UV glove, the type of glove for pressing it up against, if you use the UV glove, what you use to take pans out of the oven, okay? That makes it a lot easier to press it up against like this. So we want a custom number 20, obviously we want white. So let's come into our little bag of tricks over here. And I'm going to grab we got to find out what size we want, obviously. So I got this 2 here. That's perfect. There's our size right there. So I'm going to cut out. And this is one that I didn't have pre-cut. So this is the longest it could possibly take. So I got my 2 there. Let me grab my 0 here. And keep coming with questions, guys. I can keep answering as we're going here. How much do you sell shirts for at the event? Tim, we actually send them to the site or through email for the shirts. Because again, we don't want to spend all of that time explaining the shirts and the different colors and all that stuff at the event. We want them doing these things that we're making huge margins on, and then they come to the website after the fact to get their shirts. So got my 2, I got my 0, my 20 is all lined up. Let me get my heat tape here. That looks wonderful. There's my 20. I'm going to drop it right onto my batting glove right here. That looks good, and this will be a quick, pretty good, Joe. This will be a quick press right here. I'm just going to press it right up against the top right there. Come back over here, peel that off. And look how simple that was. It was so quick, Joe couldn't even get over here quick enough to get the camera. Simple, all right? So something like that, very, very easy to do. And literally, It was 45 seconds to be able to press that on it with any custom number we want. You put 2 color 20 in the brick wristband. What's the charge? Monica, I don't do the 2 colors at the events at all, okay? So for the wristbands, I would treat it almost like the shirts, where I would actually send them to the website or something, because again, I didn't bring the brick material with me, I didn't bring the strip block with me. However, I bring it to show them that we can do it. I'm just not making it there at the event. Can you press HGV onto leather field gloves? Of course you can. This is a leather glove right here. Let's just throw a little number 20 on this glove right here. This is actually a training glove for infielders, but it's the exact same leather that you would obviously, that's on a regular glove. And I have a video on our YouTube channel, multiple videos of me customizing baseball gloves. So if I want to throw a 20 on this real quick, I'm just going to come over here. Let's go ahead and we'll use the same size numbers. And the reason why I want to, maybe I'm customizing this one, not necessarily to make it look cool, but maybe because a lot of different kids have this exact glove, and I just want to know that it's Jackson's glove, okay? So trim off my 2 and my 0 here. Let's go ahead and drop it down on my board. And the board, it helps a lot when you have the line right here to be able to line it up, okay? So got my line here. Let's go ahead and get that lined up perfectly. And I want my 0. Oh, got my 0 there. I want my 2. Drop my 2 down right next to it. That looks good. Let's grab my heat tape real quick. Drop that down on it. We're just going to put the 20 right there on the glove real quick. Again, I'll turn it upside down. Less surface area on the press. Go ahead and press that. Let's go ahead and peel that off. And there you go. Custom number 20 on there. And again, that thing's staying on there. You can see as I scratch it with my nails, that's still not coming off. So, and you'll get, believe me, you'll get random people that bring random things to you at events. And I customize all of them. A mom will bring me a visor that they already have that they want number 20 on the back of it. So all different types of stuff like that, that they bring us randomly at the event that I can throw a name or a number on. I don't say no to much when it comes to customizing stuff at the event, okay? How do you keep all the items straight that people leave for you to customize? I would actually, underneath the tables, I would have different little bins to be able to, and then we would just kind of move them down. Almost like when you go through the TSA line at the airport, you have just like different little bins where you have the shoes and you put your wallet in and everything else. That's what I would basically have underneath the tables, and that would keep my orders in line as well, okay? Are you using the same size numbers on all those items? No, Jonette, and that's where in the box over here I have 1 1/4 inch, 1 inch, 3/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, and a 1/4 inch number, all of black and white, and that will fit 95% of the items that they bring to me, okay? How many seconds are you holding it to the heat press? Normally about 6 to 8 seconds, because you got to remember, with a glove like this, you're not going to be laundering a glove. Or the helmet is obviously the sign vinyl. The batting gloves, again, about 6 to 8 seconds. Do you pay a percentage of total sales or just on profits? We actually go on total sales, and we always include the tax in everything that we do to make it a set, easy $10 amount. Because you got to think, if they have cash and you charge them $10.63, then you got to deal with all that change as well. Do you have them sign a waiver? Normally for the shirts and stuff we do, but as far as the shoes, I can tell you I've never ruined a pair of shoes or a glove or any of that stuff, because the heat of the heat press, it isn't going to do it. I mean, because we're only holding on there for a few seconds, and especially with the Easy Weed heat transfer vinyl, we can get all the way down to 285, 290 degrees and be safe with it as well, okay? Do you ever sell rhinestone decals at the event? Dana, yes, we do. We just bring them pre-made, okay? Joe, can you grab a couple of Phillips baseball and softball ones that he has there, just the little ones? Do you put up a screen so the customer doesn't see the magic happen? No. When I had the enclosed trailer, obviously they don't see everything, but no, we don't really try and hide it. I mean, they still gotta figure it out, learn the software, get a cutter, I mean, a lot of people try and get real protective on that stuff, but no, I never worried about that. How do you figure tax to report on, say, $10? We would just figure out what the price is to where the tax in your area equaled out to $10, okay? And then figure it out that way for QuickBooks or whatever you're using there behind the scenes. Some nice but easy, you know what Cheer, Laverne, you know what they do? We did a lot with Cheer, or they would have different megaphones. They would have, we would actually customize their bows at the Cheer, and we could put a name on their bow that they already have. Obviously, we would customize their shoes. We could put their names on their shoes or their Cheer organization. The car decals were huge at Cheer. So when we would go to Cheer, car decals would normally be 80 to 90% of our sales. Remember, when you have the vinyl car decals, okay, just doing their name or their Cheer organization name or whatever, I Cheer, things like that they could put on a cell phone or they could put on a computer. They love that type of stuff as well. So all those different things, very, very easy to do, okay? And that's what I want to do. Good, we're at perfect timing on this to be able to open it up to some questions at the end here of different things that we went over, because again, I want you guys to learn as much as possible. And in case you didn't see it, we actually would have a form right out here, just a little stand, okay, just a little acrylic stand that would show a vinyl car decal. It said custom white vinyl car decals, $10. Custom shoes, gloves, hats, helmets, batting gloves, baseballs, etc. Showed a couple samples, $10. And then custom apparel, fundraisers, team orders available online at therhinestoneworld.com. So that pushed them to the website with all of those extra things, okay? And with the car decals, you can see what we would do is we would just bring car decals like this, rhinestone car decals, pre-made, not customized, that they could say, hey, I want that baseball rhinestone car decal, or I want that soccer mom rhinestone car decal. So different things like this, of course, 100%. We would pre-make them and just sell them to where they give us the money, we hand them the decal, okay? Which vinyl for cell phones is still just going to be the exact same white intermediate sign vinyl. The cutter I'm using is the Graphtec CE6040, which is the smaller edition of the CE6060. It's a 15-inch vinyl cutter, and all the exact same specs as the 24-inch vinyl cutter. Okay. Matthew, the 60% off discount is good for the decal fundraising pack and the decal live templates and clip art mega pack. Okay, the two that we were using here today. The rhinestone decals depends on the size. This one right here, the Soccer Mom rhinestone decal, we would normally sell for $15 at the event. Just the small baseball that was basically the soccer ball in this design, we would normally sell the rhinestone baseball, this one here, for $10 at the event. Price point for this cutter, Laverne, is $1,200. But again, at an event like this, you can use a Silhouette Cameo, and you can use a craft cutter that's even lighter and easier to transport around, okay? Trinita, yes. Now this pack right here is completely brand new. We actually just released this one a couple weeks ago. The decal fundraising pack, some of you may already have, but you can see in your order history if you already have, of course. I think I purchased one of those. Okay, same question. I think you might have purchased one of those in the past. You can see in your order history on that. What is the price point for another question on the cutter? That one is around $1,200. Can you put a link to the packs on here? Yeah, of course we can. Jonathan will knock that out for you real quick. He'll throw a link for each one of the ones that are 60% off on there for you. My state allows factoring for sales tax. Okay. Does the template software work for the Mac or the Cricut? For the Mac, you would just need Parallel or Boot Camp. So our design software, the CorelDRAW and the TRW Design Wizard, you can use with CorelDRAW and, or you can use with Parallel and Boot Camp on a Mac. Okay. Name of things you need for the wristband. With the stretchy kind of cotton stretch wristband like this, I use the Caesar Brick, like a brick, Caesar Brick heat transfer vinyl, and the Strip Flock, the Flock heat transfer vinyl on the top of it, okay? If it's a kind of more the neoprene type wristband or something like this, just standard Easy Weed heat transfer vinyl, okay? Very, very simple to use with these, all right? And then this, oh, I didn't even show you this. These are our custom headbands. I would sell a boatload of these at events, okay? What's cool about these type of decals is if you wanted to do rhinestones at an event, you can actually, and this is what I would do for, again, simple things, I would bring these alphabets right here, okay? So if someone wanted, if one of the girls or moms or grandmas wanted this is a custom headband, a stretchable headband to hold your hair back. It's got the felt on the inside, so it's got the no slip and everything on it, but it's blank, and we have different colors of them. All you do is you use the font, you lay down the different letters. On this one, I just laid down the STINGMOM for Sting Mom, brushed in the stones right there, and pressed it to the headband. Very, very easy to do. So a process like this is maybe 2 to 3 minutes to make a custom headband like this, okay? So these headbands are very popular and pretty inexpensive. Actually, we have, I think these might be in our sales as well. They are. So we actually have, for our Mother's Day sale, if you go to the website, you'll see a banner at the top, our Mother's Day sale. The headbands are actually on sale. We have 25% off all rhinestones. Our Bling Book pages, these guys right here, again,